let's go into the quarterback position. First off, we're going to start with our boy, Killer Cam Newton, back with the Panthers. He's got the starting role. What do you guys think? When I say guys, I mean just Tyler.
I mean, I don't know. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on this one. I'm going to buy into it. You got Stafford on a bye this week, so maybe at Stafford, you're looking to fill that void at the quarterback position, especially if you're in a 2-quarterback league. I really like Cam Newton this week. I mean, we saw him last week. He comes in, no hesitation, gets a goal line touchdown inside the 5. Then they, next series, 2 series later, whatever it is, he comes back in. They do a trick play where it looks like he's going to run again, but he turns around and throws it to Robbie Anderson for a touchdown. So, obviously they're utilizing him and his skill set, in this offense. And he's got weapons. You got DJ Moore, you got Robbie Anderson, the rookie Terrace Marshall. And this also helps when you have a guy like Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield that you could just dump the ball off to. But, I mean, if you saw him after he scored, Cam was like, I'm back. He's screaming. So,
He got a foul on that, right?
Yeah, he got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But, this is going to be the first game back in Carolina because they played in Arizona last week. So, I mean, you know me, Mike. I'm always talking about, like, the mental side of, football a lot at times. And, for Cam to be out of the league for so long and, come back and then especially be with the Panthers again, his first game back home, I could only imagine how hyped he's going to be back in Carolina, playing in front of the Panthers fans. And I do expect him to ball out. And, he gives you that safe floor in terms of the rushing. So, yeah, I like it. And then Washington football team, defense not very good.
Chase Young tore his ACL.
Chase Young's out, tore his ACL. Washington football team, they've allowed the second most passing touchdowns and the third most passing yards to opposing quarterbacks. I know, like I said, Cam Newton's arm isn't what it used to be back in the day, but he does have some weapons. And like I said, when you have Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield, it just makes the quarterback's job that much easier.
And most fantasy points per game to the quarterback position.
Yeah.
In the league.
So, yeah, I like Cam Newton this week. I'm streaming him in a couple leagues, like I said, where I had Stafford. I went and grabbed him off the waiver wire. And
yeah, hopefully
I'll be dialing up Cam Newton this week.
Maybe you picked him up instead of playing Matt Ryan.
Yeah, who would do that?
Yeah. Who would play Matt Ryan? Hello there. Hey, listen, right now, I know we talk about him a lot, but Underdog Fantasy, it has a really good deal right now. It's a player pick'em app. It's a DFS app. It's very similar to DraftKings or FanDuel, but this is better. It's brand new, very easy to use interface. But if you download the app right now and use promo code AVG, they used to hook up with $10 with your first deposit. Right now, they're matching you up to $100. So if you put $100 in the app right now on your first deposit, you will get an extra $100 to play around with. They got player pick'ems. You can even do a private match inside Underdog Fantasy. It's pretty dope. So you can challenge people and whatnot. You don't have to maintain a team for all year. So you can just draft your team, play that week, draft the next team next week. You could do it daily in a Thursday night game as well. So go check it out. Tons of prizes. Free $100. Come on, sign up. It's the best. And use promo code AVG. Now back to your video. Let's move on to the next quarterback. You all good on this Cam Newton talk?
Yeah.
I like it. I like Cam Newton this week. Let's go on to our boy Joey Burrow. Joe Burrow, just been absolutely murking it this year. His boy Jamar Chase has really helped him out. Him figuring out how to slide maybe helps him out too, preventing himself from getting injured.
I mean, yeah, having Jamar Chase obviously helps. But when you have guys like T. Higgins, who's a stud as well, and then Tyler Boyd, just a savvy veteran wide receiver as well. But they're coming off a bye. This week they're going to be against the Raiders in Las Vegas. Burrow's been pretty solid for the most part throughout the season. He's had 2 to 3 touchdown passes in every single game, minus week 9 against the Cleveland Browns, where they blanketed him and they shut him out. He's been playing pretty good this year too. 5th best completion percentage and the 7th best QB rating so far through the season for qualified quarterbacks. And if you just watched that game last week, the Raiders just got shredded by Patrick Mahomes. And I know it's Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense, but they had been struggling for a while, and the Chiefs offense finally got back on track against this Raiders pass defense. So I'm expecting the Bengals to kind of like look at the film and see what the Chiefs did and how they were successful in the passing game and just kind of emulate that. You always hear the term, it's a copycat league, so I'm expecting them to copycat the Chiefs' game plan here and just shred the Raiders' pass defense. So, yeah, give me some Joe Donkey.
Yeah, shred the Raiders like cheese. No, yeah, Joe Burrow's a solid play. You got to start that man.
Start that man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be super hyped if I starting Joe Burrow this week.
Instead of Matt Ryan?
I didn't play Matt Ryan. I wouldn't do that. Let's go on to the next one. Here we got your boy.
Do you like lying? Do you feel good lying to the people?
No, I don't lie. I've never lied ever once. Or
you feel good lying to yourself?
Bro, we're talking dynasty. It's a different thing. I claim for next year, okay? It's called strategery. All right, let's talk Tua Tagovaiola for the Miami Dolphins. We seem to talk about him every time Tyler's here. But Tua came in and he did well when against Baltimore when he was able to come in, and I'm not mad at it. Tua has been underrated, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. So Tua comes in last week on Thursday night against the Ravens after halftime, and he gets you 12 points in one half. So, I mean, obviously, if you're going to try to average that out, 24 points is what you would be thinking that he could have got right there. I mean, he's only played 4 games where he's actually started and finished the game. He's had over 20 points in 2 of those 4 games. The other 2 were some pretty tough matchups, one against the Buffalo Bills, who have, I think, the number 1 defense against quarterbacks right now, and the other one against the New England Patriots, which are, I mean, you kind of just saw it on Thursday night against Matt Ryan. The Patriots defense is one of the better defenses in the NFL. So in 2 games against tough defenses, he didn't fare out too well, but in 2 games against subpar defenses, Tua has put up over 20 points in each of those games. And this week he plays against the New York Jets in New York. Their defense, not very good at all. They've allowed the second most passing yards per game to quarterbacks. And since their Week 6 bye, the New York Jets have allowed 20 or more points to the quarterback position in all 4 of the games they've played. So, yeah, their defense, not very good. So, yeah, I'm expecting Tua to come out and have a good game here against the New York Jets.
Yeah, I like it. Especially, I like another Dolphins player, too.
Yeah. Foreshadowing.
Sneaky.
I see what you did there.
Foreshadow. Actually, we have a lot, actually. Let's go on to the next one. Here we got our boy Kirk Cousins, the boy in purple. Word on the street is Kirk Cousins, huge arm. Are we starting that man this week?
I'm going to be sitting that boy.
Sit that boy.
Sitting that boy, Kirk Cousins. They're at home against the Packers this week. I do like Kirk Cousins. He's been playing pretty efficient. I was looking at some stats the other day, and there's a stat on one of these websites. It's called like money throws or like big time throws. And actually, Kirk Cousins was number 1. He leads the league in like money throws, basically. So basically, It's like a dime, basically, So he has been playing some good football here, but I don't like him in this matchup against the Packers. It's kind of crazy because the Packers lost their best corner, Jair Alexander. I believe he's out for the season, but he's one of the best cover corners in the league. But the last 3 games, these are the points that the Packers have allowed to opposing quarterbacks. 6 points, 10 points, and 9 points. That is not very good. And the quarterbacks that the Packers have played in those 3 games, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, and Kyler Murray. I mean, those are 3, top-tier guys. Obviously, maybe you give Russell Wilson a mulligan because, he's coming off the finger surgery or the hand surgery. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray, just limiting those guys to 10 and 9 points. Yeah, it doesn't get me hyped to start a guy like Kirk Cousins who, even though he's playing good, he's not in that same tier, to me at least, as a Kyler Murray or a Patrick Mahomes. So I'd be fading Kirk Cousins this week.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the Vikings do play at home this week, so it's an interesting call with a high over-under. And I like it. You got to make those, what are they called, bold calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, sit that boy. Let's go on to another boy we're going to sit. It's our boy Trevor Lawrence. Sunshine. You don't like Trevor Lawrence this week?
Yeah,
Against
I don't.
the Niners defense?
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, I know he's a rookie, and I guess you go through those rookie struggles, transitioning from the college to the NFL. But I mean, in 9 games so far this season, he's only had 1 game over 20 points. I'm trying to pull up some stats right here on my phone if it would stop freaking out over here. But yeah, I mean, I know, like I said, it's a rookie thing. But I mean, we saw Herbert come out last year as a rookie and just light it up. So I just don't understand what the problem is here. Is it Urban Meyer? Is it the offense? Is it the plays? I mean, Laviska Shenault's a guy, you need to get him the ball in space. They're just not. Obviously losing ETN for the year hurts. Losing DJ Chark for the year hurts. But, I mean, you still got Marvin Jones who's, accustomed, or he's familiar, I guess is a better word to say. He's familiar with the offensive system because it's the same offense that he played with back in Detroit with the Lions. So I just don't understand what it is with Trevor Lawrence and this passing attack, especially when their defense is subpar. They're in more game scripts where they need to be throwing the ball, and he's just been all over the place. I mean,
it really is all even his attempts, his completion percentage, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, we just saw San Francisco, basically shut down the Rams offense on Monday Night Football, and Rams offense one of the best offenses in the NFL. I mean, obviously it hurt the Rams losing Robert Woods, but still, Stafford and Kupp and that Rams offense was, they were firing on all cylinders for most of the season, and like I said, they pretty much shut them down. So yeah, just a tough matchup against a tough defense. So I don't like it this week. If you were thinking about potentially starting Trevor Lawrence,
yeah,
even in 2 quarterback leagues, I'd be trying to get away from him if I can. I mean, the last 2 games, 8 points, 5 points, and then 12 points since their week 7 bye. It's just, I mean, he's got 4 games under 10 points. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 games, 15 and 16 completions. You're wondering, what's up with Marvin Jones? I mean, that could be it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But, yeah, pretty gross. Threw the ball 54 times against Seattle, but anyways. Yeah, speaking on that Rams, the Niners, did you know Sean McVay's 8-1 against the Cardinals and 8-1 against the Seahawks? But he's 3-6 against the Niners.
Hashtag interesting stat.
Interesting stat. Poor guy can't handle it. Hey, did you like that video? No, not the one of Big Ben completely eating shit when nobody even touched him. I'm talking about our fantasy football video we just did. You just watched. Well, guess what? That was just a clip from the full audio podcast. So if you want to check out the whole thing, links down below, AVG Fantasy Football, Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. Anywhere you can get audio podcasts, we're there. Go ahead and check it out. And if you don't want to look at your fantasy team to look the way Big Ben does right here, wait for it. Come on, replay. This is your fantasy team. But that won't be your fantasy team if you subscribe to AVG Fantasy Football. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to the channel and like